Hello and welcome to Disrupt, Dominate, Delegate. My name is Brooke Norlin. For those of you who don't know me, hi to all of you, know me or not. Today we're going off script, and I've realized doing this podcast, that's my favorite thing to do. I don't have any notes in front of me. I don't have any plans exactly for where this is going to go today, other than just some general ideas of some things that have been rolling around in my brain lately. This tends to be my favorite way to do it. I have been more planned and more scripted about it before, and it just doesn't work for me. I mean, sometimes this doesn't work for me because this is relying a lot on my brain and for things to come out of my mouth, but it's still my favorite way to do it. So welcome back. This is our 10th episode, and there was a bit of a lull, and that's okay. I got a cough, and I couldn't talk into this mic for a very long time. Still have a catch in my throat. See? Anywho, I'm back. Today I want to talk about a couple of things. The two things that are rolling around my brain hole. First is happy money and what that is. And also the way that I have learned to identify myself lately is that I'm an anti-coach with a spicy brain approach. And I want to talk about why and what that means. These things kind of go hand in hand. Happy money, my friend. What's happy money? Happy money is that money that you make that brings you joy in the way that you've made it and the way you get to spend it and the way that it changes your life. And this can be different for everyone. You could be 5 figures a month kind of happy money person, or it could be 5 figures in a year. It doesn't matter. It's money that makes you happy. It's money you make when you are doing something you love to do, something you're passionate about, something that makes you feel good to do it. Not always is that money that you make at a corporate career job. That wasn't for me. That was money I needed. That was obligation money. That was bills money. And it was stuff I had to do to survive money. And I didn't hate my job necessarily, but it wasn't happy money. I want everyone to be able to make happy money. I want you to make happy money. Some of you will know the story. I'm going to tell it briefly, but I worked for many years in a corporate job. I was working in an independent insurance agency. Great job. Worked with great people, but I was not happy. I wasn't able to live the life I wanted. I wasn't getting enough time with my family. I felt burnt out and overstimulated all of the time. I found myself under my desk often having panic attacks and wondering when this was going to get better. The world's built for people who have a brain. Maybe it's not built for anybody because I don't have a normal brain. So and who does? But it wasn't built for me and the way that I do it. But the world's built to tell you that you should be able to handle it all and dust yourself off, pick up and keep moving no matter how you're actually feeling on the inside. Just keep going. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's not always fine. Most of the time it's not fine. The way that we live our lives and the way that we've been conditioned to, or the way the world demands of us to live our lives, is to work 40 hours a week. Both of you, usually, if you're married, you and your spouse have to work 40 hours a week. If you decide to have children or take care of anyone in your life, you also have to do that. Plus, you're maintaining a home of some kind and trying to find time for yourself in that. It's hard. It's hard. When I became a mother almost 9 years ago, I realized that I was starting to find all of it almost impossible. It was get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, get myself ready. And that was after a pretty sleepless night because I was caring for a young child. Then get the child up, get them ready. Try to spend a little bit of time together, but it was always hurried and rushed because you're trying to get out the door. And then you go and drop off your kid somewhere with somebody else for 9 hours, spend 9 hours at a job, go pick up that beautiful little bundle of joy, bring them home, make supper, clean the house, do laundry, try to get some quality time in. And honestly, little kids go to sleep pretty early. So there was hardly any time to bond and spend time there. And that was killing me. But also everything else is just kept piling. And I felt like I couldn't ever get ahead. Nothing was ever felt like it was done. I always felt like there was something else to do. And there always is. But if you took just a minute for yourself, you were putting everything else way back. And so it felt impossible to take a minute for yourself. It felt impossible to give a little extra time to your family unless you wanted to sacrifice that time at a later date. Anyway, if that sounds familiar, you're not making happy money. Sorry. It sucks, truly and sincerely. It's necessary. We have to make money to survive because it's the world we live in. So when I was able to quit my job, I decided that my mission was going to be to help other women to not have to do things like that made them unhappy, to do things that sacrificed their time and energy and who they were, to live life in a rat race. This took me through a bit of a journey of my own because I was trying to, when I left my job, make sure that I was making money for myself. And there comes another level of stress with owning your own business and knowing that you're fully responsible for bringing in the money that your family needs. My husband, my spouse, has a good job, so that helped, obviously, but I'm still responsible for half of what we put out into the world as far as bills go. So it's a whole other different stress. But it was one that I welcomed because I was able to do it doing something that I was passionate about and happy to help others with. And that is helping other women to find the freedom, to find the happiness, to find the joy, to build businesses that bring in income, that lead them to the places that make them happy. I've done that in a lot of ways, a lot of different ways before I got to where I'm at today. I want to talk about that journey a little bit because it really leans into how I became the anti-coach with that spicy brain approach. I mean, I started working in direct sales. I worked in a direct sales company and was creating income for myself by selling product. And I also had a team. And I also was working for the corporate side of that company for a while. In doing that, I always fully believed that I was helping other people to make their happy money, to create income for themselves in a way that made them happy. But when I left there, I decided that that wasn't the way that I wanted to do it. I wanted to find my own way. I didn't want another company telling me how I had to do it. So I took all the knowledge and the things that I've learned over the years in my time in corporate America and helping that company to understand the technology that would make their lives easier and managing human beings. And also what I learned in working in the corporate world with direct sales company, as well as running my own business on the side and marketing and social media and all the technology that was required. I took all of those things and I was like, I can help other people with this stuff. I have learned a lot and I can help other people with this stuff so that they can run the businesses that they want to run successfully to make their happy money. And I have loved that. And it's evolved along the way into many, many different things where now I like to help people to develop digital product. And the reason I do that is I found that in time, that's what was happening. I was helping people as a virtual assistant or as an OBM. And often what was happening was I was helping them to develop, maintain, structure, and the technology, things like that, systems behind the scenes to run digital products. And so I've decided to talk about that a lot more because I don't think everyone understands that digital products are an option for them. I don't think everyone quite believes that what they know is valuable enough to sell it into a digital product. But it is, and that's probably a whole other episode talking about the mindset in that. The things that we tell ourselves aren't good enough because, well, it didn't take us that much time to learn it, or it comes really easy to us, or you didn't go to college and get a degree for it. So who are you to ask someone to pay you money for it? Honey, you are an expert. You are helping other people collapse time. Time's their most valuable resource. And if you can help someone to learn something faster, or you can do something for them so they don't have to do it, you are giving them time. And just because it didn't take you a 4-year college degree to learn it does not mean that it is not valuable. And like I said, that's a whole other lesson someday we'll talk and dive into. I could go on a tangent and I won't. What I want to talk about is the anti-coach thing. Through my journey in all this, I have sought out coaching, or I have sought out different resources because I feel like investing in your business is really important. Having people in your circle who are have you and your best interest in mind and who are able to maybe point out things that you can't see when you're so close, super important. I think that's really important. But I also have learned that when you're doing that, you have to keep your head about your shoulders as well. Oftentimes we don't give ourselves enough credit. We're not as smart as we don't think we're as smart as we are, or that we have the knowledge that we have. Sometimes it gets pushed to the back of the brain, or we think someone else must know it better, so we're going to listen to someone else. But we need to remember, when we are letting people into our business to help us, that they're there to guide us, but we get to take what we want and leave the rest and build our business the way we want to build it. And I think all good coaches understand that. There are some out there who are trying to prove their method works, and they want you to do it by the book so that they can get a review from you saying that you went from making no money to making $1,000 in a month by doing whatever it is they told you to do. And that's fine if it works for you, but most people don't fit into the same box. Yeah, the basics are all the same. We all have basic marketing rules. We all have basic, the technology is the same across the board, things that you can use to make your business easier and things like that. But how we do it does not need to look the same, does not need to be the same. And that's something I learned the hard way. I let myself be overcoached several times because I didn't have the confidence in myself to understand that I could pick, choose, and do the things my way, even though a coach was trying to tell me something different. And I'm very lucky now to have someone in my corner circle coaching me now who understands that and knows that. And lucky her, she's just got to deal with a little bit of that trauma that I have from letting myself be overcoached and me overcorrecting and trying to find a balance that works now, where I trust myself enough, but also am coachable and allow people to help me and help me further my business. So bless her soul for being so good to me through that. And I love it. But that's why I like the coin term anti-coach with a spicy brain approach, because what it means is that I'm calling myself out as a person who doesn't know exactly how you should be running your business. I have got all the knowledge and all of the things that I can give you, but you literally have to take what works for you and use it. And I also understand that sometimes I'm not the best person for the job. There might be someone out there who can help you far better than I can, because they'll connect with you in a different way. And I think that's such an important thing that everyone needs to look for when you're looking for someone to help you with strategy, or to guide you or coach you or mentor you in a situation, is someone who understands to look for things like that and isn't hurt by it. It's just the way it is. And having someone who understands that not all brains work the same. We all have a different way of getting there. Some of us need real hard, rigid lines, real hard deadlines to motivate us, to get us moving. Some of us will crawl in a hole and die if we're given a hard and fast deadline, or we are coached in a way that is considered like harder. Some people need soft coaxing. Some people need tough love. Some people need just to be guided in the right direction and then let go. And some people need you every step of the way. And sometimes that changes. Sometimes you're able to do certain things with a little bit of help and set you on your way. And sometimes you need someone to hold your hand along every single step, because it's just not something that's in your zone of genius. And that's okay too. But not every brain works the same. And not every person needs the same kind of coaching or the same kind of guidance in their business or the same kind of help behind the scenes. Right now, I'm doing some testing, market research. I offered to 4 people some Voxer coaching for the month, and I'm to help each and every one of them to launch a program of some kind, digital product of some kind. And I didn't give any parameters. I was just like, I just want to know that you want to launch something, and I'm going to help you throughout the month. And you get to ask what you want. I get to help you with whatever I can. And this has been incredibly telling, because every single person who is in that lineup, all 4 of them have different needs. Some of them are saying, I need you to help me write get the whole module, lesson, lineup all formulated. Some of them are like, no, I'm good there. I'm good. I got that. You don't need to help me with that. But I do need help with technology. There are some people who just knew they wanted to do a digital product, but I had no idea what it was. And so we're walking through the weeds together to find out what that thing is. And on top of them being at different levels, they also have different needs. The way that I check in with them is different for each and every one of them. The way that I set goals for them or don't, depending on, is different for each of them. The way that I deliver the information to them is different for each of them because not all brains work the same. But I pride myself in being able to work with the way that works best for you and still get you to the end result that you're looking for. Sometimes we can be our own worst enemy. And like I can sometimes and really fight the help, not because we don't want it, but because our brain is like, I want to be able to do this on my own, or don't tell me what to do. But honestly, like my friend Carrie says all the time, she's like, don't tell me what to do, but low key, please just tell me exactly what to do. And sometimes our brains are our own worst enemy in that way. And I can understand that too. So all of those things come into play when I'm helping my clients. It also comes into play when we decide what kind of product we're going to be making. Because if you can develop a product, a digital product that works with your brain, your energy, your capacity, then you're going to feel so much more aligned and you're going to be able to sustain it. I did a talk recently where I said a lot of times what happens when we're trying to build a business, not with everyone, but with some people who end up letting it go and not seeing it to the end, or building it and burning it down because it's just too much. What happens is our brains are trying to keep us safe. So when we start, we build this idea, there's a couple of levels that our brain's going to stop us. It might stop us before we even start because, oh, what if we fail? What if we try this and it doesn't work? Our brain could stop us there. We could build it and then get it running, and our brain could stop us after we've launched because it's not exactly what we thought it was going to be, or it's burned us out already. Our brains could stop us after 10 years of doing this thing because we're at capacity, we're so burnt out, and we're so tired. So what your brain is doing at all levels of that is trying to keep you safe from something. When your brain says, don't even try, don't even start because you might fail or you might not like it. Your brain is just saying to you, I'm trying to keep you safe. But if you can say back to your brain, I talk to my brain often. I have conversations with my brain sometimes. I had to tell it to just keep its mouth shut sometimes. If you can tell your brain, thank you for trying to protect me, but I'm going to move forward in a smart direction. I am going to move forward and protect my time and my energy. I'm going to find something that works well for me. I'm going to do this my way, which is the only right way, so that I'm safe and through all this and that I can sustain this. And then your brain can take a big fat exhale and shut up so that you can move forward. Understanding how our brain is going to work and how it's going to work against us and for us and everything in between, it can take a lifetime to figure out. But when you work with someone else who can look from the outside looking in and notice, I see tension in your shoulders and this is not okay, we take a different approach. Or if I see you take a visible exhale or hear it through the phone, then we know we're going in the right direction because you feel better. And sometimes we don't notice those little things. We don't notice those little tiny things, but someone from the outside looking in can see it and can help guide you in that right direction. And that's the value of having someone in your corner, a guide, a coach, a strategist, a whatever, helping you and guiding you along the way. I want to wrap up this episode giving you an exercise that I cannot remember where I got it from. I believe it was from a book from, I'm sure, a very smart person, but my brain discards information I don't need and puts it to the side. So if you recognize this from a book, you can tell me which one it was from. But I want to give you this little exercise that I do sometimes that's really, really helpful. And we talked about it a little bit earlier. Every time your brain or your body feels, or whatever it is, stops you and you feel like dead stop, or you feel anxious, or you feel nervous, or you're like, in some way, shape, or form, I want you to stop, take a deep breath, and thank your brain for protecting you. Say, thank you. I know you're just trying to do your job and keep me safe. Thank you. But there is no bear. There is no bear. Try to understand in that moment what it is your brain is trying to protect you from. And if you can identify that, And you can thank it for doing that and then say to it, but I'm going to do it anyway. So, back off, friend, and then move forward. Don't let the tension, the brain, the body, whatever it is within you, stop you from moving forward in something that feels like it's the right direction for you. Because 2 days ago, you were excited about this thing that you're walking towards, but you got a little too far into the ocean and your brain is noticing that things are up at your neck and is trying to protect you from going any further. You say thank you, but I've got this. Put your scuba helmet on, diving helmet, I don't know, whatever, and keep walking. Keep walking, swim, get to where you're going. Sometimes your brain just needs that physical thank you, but I'm going to keep going. And when you acknowledge that and then you push past that, that is how you're going to get to all the places that are going to bring you your happy money. All right, my friend, thank you for tuning in with me. I will see you next week.